In this episode of Practice Session, we're going to focus on a tool that is not used enough when people practice. And that tool that I'm talking about is the metronome. The metronome is a far more versatile tool for your practice time than you have been shown and exposed to thus far. I'm going to cover some of the things you've probably already seen, but I'm going to delve into other things that you have not been exposed to, where the metronome can be used to help you really improve your rhythm skills, your picking technique, and other elements of your playing to help you really get things working properly. The metronome helps you keep time, absolutely. But it is so much more than just a timekeeping tool. All right, so let's get right to it and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. The first thing we want to do is establish good rhythm skills. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set the metronome at 60 beats a minute. The metronome at 60 beats a minute. Now, the object here is to strum one strum per beat, right? So I'm just going to go G, C, and D. Now, as you can see, the object is to strum right on the beat and to do it smoothly between chords. So no matter what chord you're playing and what chord you're moving to, you should be able to play in time. So for example, I'll do something just a little bit more involved. Right? The object being to be able to move between any chord and any other chord in time and to have each chord sound properly. Now, when you're doing regular folk music, you're not just strumming all downstrokes, right? You're strumming down and upstrokes. So what you can do is set it at 60 beats a minute and then play down and upstrokes. So the downstroke is on the beat. Okay, now the object here is, of course, to be smooth and flowing. So if you're a little wobbly in keeping this aspect of the beat going, here's what you can do. Set the metronome, because we were at 60, set it to 120. So now you'll be clicking on the down and the upstroke to get your upstroke in time as well, just like this. This way, you can learn to regulate your hold down and upstroke pattern. Now you'll notice, very smooth and flowing. I call this the steady state principle. And this is the basis of 99.9% of all strumming that you're going to do. It's going to be rooted in this steady state principle, which is based on down, up, right? Whether it's 8th notes or 16th notes, it doesn't matter. 1 and, 1 E and it doesn't matter. Now, the other thing you can do is if you're doing a typical something like that, say, right? Let's say you're doing it at, again, 60 beats a minute. You want to regulate that, so it's all eighth notes, right? So it's all downstrokes in this case. So you can learn to regulate that and get it smooth and flowing the way it's supposed to sound, right? And that's the whole idea. So pause the video and take a little time to work on just playing at 60 beats a minute, playing a regular strum pattern, and then, you know, the comp strum pattern like this. Play some different chords. Try to play some complicated chords like I did with this progression here, right? Try to play some more involved chords that you struggle with to help you see where you need to work. And if you need to slow down below 60 beats a minute, then, you know, that's okay. The object here is to use the metronome to help you understand where you are lagging behind with regard to keeping good time, or maybe you're speeding up and going too fast. So this helps you do that. And then when you're doing regular eighth note strumming, put the metronome at double. If it's at 60, put it at 120 and get your upstrokes properly regulated as well, so that you know you're playing smooth. All right? Then when you're ready to continue, after doing this for a while, press play and we'll keep going. What if we're not playing in 4/4 time? What if we're playing, say, in 3/4 time, right? So we set the metronome at, what do we got? 88 beats a minute. You have the same basic principle going on here. So you double up, let's see, 88 is 176, right? And we get that going. Now there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Right? So it's no faster. It's just we're adding clicks that may seem a little intimidating, but once you understand, you're just 1 and 2 and 3 and we're just counting the end of the beat now, it gets much easier to understand what's going on, right? So that's basically how you approach playing, say, in 3/4 time. So if you want to practice this, pause the video and go ahead and give this a little bit of a workout to help you understand just a little bit different aspect of playing rhythm, okay? And using the metronome to help you accomplish that. Then, when you're ready to continue, press play and we'll keep going. In keeping with the 3/4 time idea, let's switch to 6/8. You know, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a little quicker than 3/4 time. So I've got the metronome set at 160 beats a minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that helps you to get and set the groove. Now, there's another way to help you kind of get a little bit more groove oriented, and that is that you divide your 6/8 tempo by 3. In this case, we're at 160, so I'm going to divide it by 3. Technically, it's 53 1/3 beats a minute. I've got it set at 54 because I don't have 53 1/3 beats a minute. All right. And this way, when you hear the click, you're now counting in 2. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the click will be on 1 and 2 and right? So you'll count it like this: 2, 1 and 2 and but you'll play exactly the same, and then you'll accent the click: 1 and 2 and 1. And that helps you to get a little bit more of a groove into it once you're really comfortable with 6/8. Counting it in 2 helps you to get that groove happening a little bit better. And that's kind of cool how that works. And the metronome can help you with that. Okay, so pause the video, work this out a little bit. Again, we're in 160 where you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're at 54, which is more or less 1/3 of 160, to where now it's clicking twice per measure, and you're counting, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're counting at 1 and 2 and kind of emphasize the beat stroke with a little bit of an accent. Okay, give that a shot and see how you do for a few minutes. Again, playing all these different chords, getting yourself more comfortable moving between chords as well. This is where the metronome helps you to see where you're kind of lax in your timekeeping skills, and maybe where some chords aren't as muscle memory savvy as you thought they were. And then, after you've done this for a little while, when you're ready to continue, press play and we'll keep going. For this next section, we're going to deal with some single note stuff here. So we're going to break it up. We're going to move away from rhythm for a few minutes. And we're going to get into now helping you with your single note picking abilities and getting that technique happening a little bit better. Okay, so let's take a look at what that's all about. Okay, in this exercise, what we want to do is set the metronome nice and slow. I've got it at 50 beats a minute. And this is deliberate because we're going to be very deliberate. 1 pluck of the string per click. The object here is to be right on the beat. So you're going to have to learn to get in sync with the metronome. This is the tool that helps you to get your playing properly regulated and get your precision right where it belongs. Now, 50 beats a minute, 2 notes per beat. So down and up. Now, if you're a little wonky on your timing, here's what you do. Set your metronome at 100 beats a minute. And now play down, up to the click. Just like that. Now, don't just do this for a few seconds. Do this for a minute or more. This is a very deliberate exercise to help you understand that the metronome is the tool to help you get your note timing correct. And so it takes more than just a few seconds. I've been doing this for, oh my goodness, over 60 years now, playing with a metronome. And believe me, I still use a metronome because I want to ensure that my timing is impeccable. All right? So now, back to 50 beats a minute. And now we're going to play 3 notes per click, so triplets. Here we go. Okay. Now, of course, triple speed is 150 beats a minute. I got 152 is as close as mine comes. So now you're going to play 1 note per click. And again, you do this for a couple of minutes on each part of the exercise to really get your playing precisely in time. All right, back to 50 beats a minute. And now, you guessed it, 4 notes per. Right? And there you go. Now, 4 times 50 is 200. My metronome actually goes up to 200. All right. 1 note per click. Okay? So, pause the video. Go through 1 note per click, 2 notes per click, 3 notes per click, 4 notes per click. I've also done 5, 6, 7, and 8 notes per click as part of my practice. But for now, just go up to 4 notes per click. And if you're at 50 beats a minute and you can handle that, then just remember, when you go 1 note per click, it's 50. 2 notes per click. If you want to play on everything, you want the metronome to click on everything, that would be 100 beats a minute for down and upstroke. 3 notes per click, triple it to 150. So now you're playing at 150 every click on every note. Then 4 notes per click, that's 200 to get you to where you're clicking on all 4 notes. So that would be quadruple. Okay, so again, pause the video, go over this. Again, spend a couple of minutes with each exercise. Don't shortchange yourself here, because down the road, you're going to see the benefits of this as you practice this more and more. You'll see that it has its benefits when you're playing solos, that your notes are happening right when they're supposed to happen. And that is awesome. Okay? And then when you're ready to continue moving forward, go ahead and restart the video and we'll get to the next segment. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on the metronome use in your practice time so far. If you want to continue this lesson and get the full benefit of how to use the metronome in your practice time, go on over to patreon.com, outsmart your guitar, and subscribe at one of 2 levels offered for patronage, and you will get the rest of this lesson. It is available to both levels, so no matter which level you sign up for, the metronome lesson will be available to you. Also, in becoming a patron, you will help support my efforts to continue to provide you with high-quality lesson material. And also, in going over and becoming a patron, you will be having access to far more material than is available here on YouTube. All right? Okay, thanks again. I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon.